When using outside source material in your writing, you'll need to cite that material both in text and in the references page. This video focuses on how to cite sources in text. When citing sources in your deliverable, there are two pieces of information you'll always need: author and date. Books or journal articles almost always identify a specific individual or individuals as an author. But with web sources, it's common that there is no individual listed. In this case, the organization, group, or corporation serves as the author. If you can't find either an individual or corporate author listed at all, then you might want to consider finding another source, since you can't really evaluate the author's credibility or who is responsible for the content. However, publication years are pretty easy to find when you're using a journal article or book, like this example found on the copyright page of a book by Peter Joseph. But sometimes dates can be difficult to find on web sources that don't include a publication date, or there might be multiple dates on a single page. This one, for example, has an updated date of August 8th, 2017. Generally, citations either show up in signal phrases or in parentheticals. A signal phrase is a phrase that introduces source material like, according to Lanning, 2007, or, as noted in Lanning, 2007. You can use signal phrases to vary your sentence structure throughout your essay, especially if you notice that you tend to start sentences the same way. Signal phrases are also helpful for differentiating between your words and the words of your source, or when you're calling attention to the similarities and differences between various authors' perspectives. Parenthetical citations are helpful when the reference information is long and bulky, which can be distracting. They are also helpful when you want to focus on the source material itself or your own voice over the cited information. Parenthetical citations also make it easier to synthesize a lot of information in one sentence. When shifting from one author to the next in a single paragraph, parenthetical citations allow you to clearly delineate where information comes from, while also making your sentences easier to read. In this example, the parentheticals in each sentence serve as a visual representation of how much research you've done on a given topic, while drawing implicit connections between sources over the course of a paragraph. If you're quoting a source directly, there's a third piece of information that you need: the page number, or paragraph number if the source doesn't have pages. If you're directly quoting a web source and there are no page numbers, identify the paragraph number instead. If you're paraphrasing a source instead of quoting, page numbers aren't required, but they're encouraged to help the interested reader locate the relevant passage within a long or complex resource, like a book, for example. There are instances where the source has multiple authors in which to cite in text. If you have a source with two authors, the example provided shows how you would cite both in text either as parenthetical citation or in a narrative format. What if there are three or more authors responsible for the content of your source? Here are examples of what that would look like, again, in either parenthetical and narrative example. For additional APA help, be sure to connect with us by either writing us at writing.center@csuglobal.edu or give us a call at 720-263-0871.